Everything Dwight built in Tulsa is about to fall apart. The streets that once feared his name are now whispering about his downfall. The empire he created from nothing is standing on the edge of a knife, and one wrong move could bring it all crashing down. The city is changing, alliances are shifting, and enemies he thought were buried are rising from the shadows. In this world, loyalty is a weapon, and power is never enough to keep you safe. Season 3 has been a storm, but Episode 8, this is the lightning strike. This is where everything explodes. Tulsa sleeps under a sky that feels too quiet. The air is heavy, as if the city itself knows something dark is coming. Dwight Manfredi, once the unshakable king of this city's underworld, walks through empty streets that used to pulse with his power. His empire, built on loyalty and fear, now feels like a fragile memory. Every face he trusted hides a question. Every handshake could be a betrayal. The quiet is dangerous. It's the kind that comes before chaos. The past few weeks have torn through Dwight's world like a storm. His crew is divided, his enemies have multiplied, and even the law has begun closing in. What started as a fight for control has become a fight for survival. Yet, through the wreckage, there's still that fire in his eyes, the kind that refuses to die, the kind that built an empire from ashes. But now, it's no longer just about money or power. It's about legacy. It's about proving that even when the world turns its back, the king doesn't kneel. As dawn breaks, the streets start to move again. Tulsa wakes up, unaware of the war quietly building beneath its surface. A phone rings, a deal is made, a gun is loaded. Somewhere in the city, a decision is being made that will change everything. And Dwight, he knows it, he feels it in his bones. The silence before the fight is louder than any gunshot. He's been through war before, but this time, it's personal. This time, it's not about protecting a crew or a name. It's about protecting himself from the man he used to be. The camera moves through smoky bars, dim alleys, and neon-lit streets. Faces flash, old allies, new threats. A briefcase changes hands. A car engine roars in the distance. The tension builds with every heartbeat, like the city itself is holding its breath. Dwight walks toward the edge of it all, calm but ready. There's no fear in his eyes, just the look of a man who's seen the end coming and decided to walk straight into it. The empire is trembling. The enemies are circling, and the police are watching from the dark. But Dwight Manfredi is not a man who fades quietly. If he's going down, he's taking everyone with him. The calm before the fire is ending, and in Episode 8, Tulsa will burn. The city doesn't sleep anymore. Tulsa's heartbeat has changed faster, colder, unpredictable. The streets that once echoed with loyalty now whisper betrayal. Dwight can feel it in the way people look at him. Eyes that once carried respect now shift with unease. The walls are closing in, not because of the cops or the gangs, but because of something far more dangerous. Doubt. Doubt inside his circle. Doubt inside himself. And when a king begins to question his own crown, the vultures start to circle. Rumors spread like smoke. Someone from inside has turned. Someone who knows too much. Someone who's been waiting for the right moment to strike. Dwight's men, once bound by loyalty, now look at each other like strangers. The bar that used to feel like home has turned into a room full of loaded guns disguised as friends. Every drink poured carries tension. Every word spoken carries weight. Trust, the one thing Dwight built his empire on, is slipping away like sand through his fingers. But Dwight isn't blind. He's watching, learning, waiting. The years have taught him patience, the kind that comes from surviving too many wars. He knows betrayal doesn't come with a warning, it comes with a smile. And in Tulsa, everyone smiles before they stab you in the back. He's seen this play before. The greed, the fear, the hunger for power. But this time, something's different. The enemy isn't outside the gates anymore. They're sitting at his table. As night falls, the city becomes a maze of secrets. The police are tightening their grip. The rival gangs are making moves. And in the middle of it all, Dwight stands like a man caught between two storms. He knows he can't fight them both, not without losing something he still cares about. The FBI's shadow looms large. Agents are watching every move, every phone call, every deal. They want him cornered. They want him desperate. But Dwight Manfredi doesn't break. He calculates. He plans. And when the time comes, he hits back harder than anyone expects. Somewhere across town, a meeting happens in a dark room. Two men exchange quiet words. A photo slides across the table. Dwight's face. The deal is simple. Bring him down, and take everything he owns. Money, territory, reputation, all of it. Betrayal isn't personal in this world. It's business. But for Dwight, it's always personal. Because every betrayal is a ghost from his past. Every lie reminds him of the time he spent locked away while others built their empires on his silence. Back in his room, Dwight stares at the city lights. They flicker like dying embers, reflecting in his eyes that carry both rage and regret. He remembers the promises he made to rebuild, to stay clean, to make Tulsa his fresh start. But fresh starts are illusions for men like him. No matter how far he runs, the past always finds a way to knock on his door. The phone buzzes again, a name he didn't expect flashes on the screen. He answers, and silence greets him. Then a single voice. They know, Dwight. They know everything. The line goes dead. In that moment, the storm inside him finally breaks. The calm is gone. The city feels smaller, the air heavier. He knows what comes next. Blood, chaos. The kind of reckoning that wipes the board clean. For years, he tried to build something real, something different. But in this world, peace is temporary, and power is poison. And Dwight, he's starting to taste it again. Outside, thunder rolls across the skyline. Somewhere, a car explodes, the first warning of what's to come. Dwight doesn't flinch. He just exhales, slowly, like a man who's been waiting for this moment all his life. The war is coming back to Tulsa. And this time, there's no going back. Episode 8 isn't just another chapter, it's the beginning of the end. The city is burning from the inside. Even before the first bullet flies, the air feels charged, heavy with anger and betrayal. Dwight stands at the heart of it all, watching the empire he built begin to devour itself. The same streets that once carried his legend now carry whispers of rebellion. Men he once fed, protected, and trusted are now selling his name to the highest bidder. Every corner hides a trap. Every ally hides an agenda. But Dwight isn't running. He's preparing. Because a king without a throne is still a king, and tonight, he plans to remind everyone why. The first shots echo through the night, fast, sharp, and merciless. Tulsa explodes into chaos. Cars burn, sirens wail, and shadows move fast between alleyways. The city becomes a battlefield of greed and vengeance. Dwight's enemies thought they could catch him off guard, but they forgot who they were dealing with. He didn't survive prison by luck. He survived because he knew how to turn fear into a weapon. And now, as his empire crumbles, that old version of Dwight, the one people feared, begins to rise again. He moves through the chaos like a ghost. Calm, calculated, cold, one by one, he starts reclaiming what's his, not with an army, but with precision. Every move is deliberate, every strike personal. The streets remember him. The people who doubted him now whisper his name again, this time with fear. The camera follows his steps through a war-torn city, flashing red lights, broken glass, gunfire in the distance. Each image is a reminder that this world was never built on peace. It was built on power, and Dwight has always known how to take it back. But even as he wins his battles, he's losing something deeper, the part of himself that still believed in redemption. There's a quiet moment between the chaos, where he stands alone in an empty street, surrounded by the wreckage of everything he fought for. The neon signs flicker above him, reflecting off the blood on his hands. He doesn't look proud. He looks tired, because power has a price. And Dwight is starting to realize he's been paying it all along. Somewhere in the distance, a familiar face steps out of the shadows, someone he thought was gone for good. The moment freezes, old memories rush back, sharp as the pain of betrayal. This isn't just another enemy. This is the ghost of his past. The one mistake he never fixed. The one person who knows how to hurt him most. The silence between them says everything words can't. It's not about money anymore. It's about history, about revenge, about unfinished business. The rain starts to fall, washing over the city like a cleansing storm. The gunfire slows, the streets empty, and Dwight stands there, soaked but unbroken. In the reflection of a puddle, he sees himself, not the businessman, not the gangster, but the survivor. The man who refuses to die on his knees. He lights a cigarette, his hands trembling slightly, the smoke rising into the night like a final warning. Somewhere, a siren fades into silence. Somewhere else, a phone rings unanswered. The war isn't over. It's only changing shape. By the end of the night, the news will call it a gang war. The police will call it a crime wave. But for Dwight, it's something deeper. It's Judgment Day. Every decision, every betrayal, every secret has led to this. Tulsa isn't just his kingdom anymore. It's his battlefield, his confession, and maybe, his grave. Yet even now, with everything on the line, there's that small, dangerous smile forming on his lips. Because Dwight Manfredi knows something no one else does. Kings don't fall quietly. They make the world remember their name before they go. As the camera pulls back, The city burns in the distance, flames painting the skyline in gold and red. The soundtrack fades into a low, haunting hum, carrying the echo of his footsteps as he disappears into the smoke. Somewhere out there, Episode 8 waits, a storm of betrayal, revenge, and redemption ready to break wide open. And when it does, one truth will rise above the fire. In Tulsa, the king still reigns, even in ruin. The night is almost over. But the city still glows with fire. Smoke drifts through the broken skyline like ghosts rising from the ashes. Tulsa looks different now, wounded, haunted, alive. The storm Dwight unleashed has left no corner untouched. The gangs are scattered, the cops are out for blood, and the streets that once feared his name now whisper it like a legend. But for Dwight, victory doesn't feel like triumph. It feels like silence, the kind that comes after too much loss. He stands on the rooftop of a half-burned building, looking down at the world he built and destroyed. The wind carries the faint sound of sirens, but he doesn't move. The city beneath him pulses like a living thing, wild, uncontrollable, unforgiving. Every decision, every gunshot, every betrayal has led him here. To this moment, he wanted power, respect, redemption, but all he found was war. Still, deep down, there's a strange calm in his eyes, because Dwight Manfredi understands something most men never do. Sometimes the only way to survive is to lose everything first. The camera moves closer. The scars on his face tell a story words never could. Each one is a memory, a mistake, a price he's paid to stay alive. He exhales slowly, the smoke from his cigarette twisting in the cold air like a ghost dancing between him and the skyline. Somewhere behind him, footsteps approach. Slow, steady, familiar. He doesn't turn around. He already knows who it is. The sound of boots scraping against broken glass stops a few feet away. A voice breaks the silence, calm, bitter, almost sad. You built all this, Dwight, and for what? To die alone? He smiles, not out of joy, but acceptance. Better alone, he says softly, than surrounded by snakes. The answer hangs in the air like a final truth. The man behind him raises a gun. Dwight doesn't flinch. He's past fear now. Everything he was afraid of has already happened. He turns slowly, eyes steady. No anger, just exhaustion. The two men stare at each other. Years of friendship and betrayal burning in the space between them. No words left, no forgiveness, no more games, just the sound of rain hitting metal, echoing like a countdown. But before the trigger is pulled, the camera cuts to flashbacks. Dwight, laughing with his crew. The first day he arrived in Tulsa. The deals, the fights, the long nights, trying to build something real. Then, quick cuts, the betrayals, the blood, the loss, a lifetime packed into seconds. When the image returns to the present, the gun is gone. The man who came to kill him is walking away, vanishing into the mist. Dwight watches him go, not relieved, not angry, just quiet. Because mercy, in this world, is its own kind of punishment. He looks back over the city one last time. The dawn is breaking faint light, pushing through the smoke. A new day for Tulsa, a new chapter that may not include him. He flicks the cigarette from his hand and whispers to no one. I built it once, they'll destroy it twice, but they'll never forget who started it. The words linger like prophecy. The sound fades, leaving only the slow beat of distant drums and a low hum that feels like a heartbeat. Then, the trailer's final montage begins quick. Sharp flashes from episode 8. Dwight walking through a deserted street. A car speeding into the night. Explosions lighting up the skyline. Faces of allies and enemies blending in chaos. The intensity builds with the music until it cuts to black. A single line appears on screen. Every empire burns. Not every king falls. The silence after that line is deafening, the kind that demands attention. Then, one last image fades in, Dwight's silhouette against the dawn. Smoke curling behind him, his shadow stretching across the ruined city. The music returns, slow, haunting, powerful.